How you doing, folks? It's Ron from Ron's Beers and Tools. I have a beer in front of you, as you can see, from Abita, and I'm hoping I'm saying this correctly, Abita Brewing Company, down there in Louisiana, to be more precise. It's at Covington, Louisiana. And we did have an address, something like 21084 LA-36 Covington, Louisiana. I don't know if that's a lane. That's again 21084 LA-36 Covington, Louisiana. Abita Brewing. This is brought to you by a consortium of shareholders. It's owned by some guys that got together, and they're shareholders. They're called. It's privately owned. And they got together and founded this brewery in 1986. This is as you can see, a grapefruit honey. Kind of really contradicts itself. Something sweet and something sour. Let's take a look at the label. Get a good look at it. But it isn't too dark in here. And the lights aren't washing this out because it's a dark day here in New England. Looks like it's going to threaten to rain all day. Let's see, this is a 4.2% ABV. It's got 15 international bitter units in this. Brewed and bottled by Abita Brewing Company, LLC, Abita Springs, Louisiana. Now on the webpage it said Covington, so I don't know if Abita Springs is in Covington. Grapefruit honey. I'm pretty interested in wanting to try this. Look at their cap. Tell us to pry off cap. Brewed with spring water. Well, that's nice. This sounds like it's going to be really a nice brew here. Their words basically are saying this is a lager. So maybe we'll get some crispness out of this being a lager. It's a grapefruit honey lager. Now that sounds good. It really does. And has an interesting graphics on. As you can see it, there's a young lady riding a bicycle with the buildings that look like New Orleans. Crate of, looks like those red grapefruits. And there's a guy and his gal walking like on the farm, and there's some honey from a honey pot. That's really an interesting label. A lager with natural flavors. So this is a lager. That is nice. I like the bottle. I don't know if this is too old. It's Best By with April 16th, 2018. So they're saying, I think on the page, January, February. But what they say about this brew here, what they're saying, the brewery, is that this is a ripe, juicy, Louisiana ruby red grapefruits are paired with the sweetness of locally sourced honey to create a refreshing brew with a citrus aroma and clean malt taste. That sounds pretty good. And it's locally sourced, the honey, and grapefruits from Louisiana, juicy Louisiana ruby red grapefruits, and the spring water. Putting it all together, it's sounding really interesting, and it's going to be good. Now this is brewed with the Pilsner and wheat malts in this, so that's a German style with the Pilsner lager. The Pilsner and wheat malts. And the bite of grapefruit, basically they're balancing it with the honey. You got sweet and sour. Sweet and sour. Sweet. Alright, sweet and sour. And all of our Harvest Series brews, this is part of a series, as you can see right here. Harvest Series. They got other flavors and so forth. Basically, these brews are made with the finest Louisiana-grown ingredients, keeping us Louisiana true. So I like that. It's nice having locally sourced ingredients in your brews. That's nice. The yeast in this is a German lager. Basically, I said that the malts were a Pilsner and a wheat, and the hops are German tradition. That might be the noble hops, which are nice hops, and they do partake to give a certain flavor to the pils and the lagers and those noble hops. So like I said, this is 15 international beer units with the 4.2% ABV. Now this, like I say, this was founded in 1986. And by 1994, I mean, from 1986 to 1994, they outgrew their brewery. And now they got a new brewery, and it has a 100-seat brew pub. Imagine that. This is just a brew pub. You go in there to get some beer out of at the brew pub, and it's 100 seat. That's how the size. That's how successful they've been. The brewery is 30 miles north of New Orleans. So you folks down there in New Orleans, or southern, I think it's southeastern Louisiana. I know there's a gentleman there down that part actually in New Orleans does some fantastic beer reviews. Ronald Terrio, he does some real good beer reviews. You get an opportunity to go to his webpage. And now that I've got a shout out, I want to shout out to Rebel. He does Rebel Turner. He turns wood on the lathe. He does fantastic work. You're going to go to his channel called Rebel Turner. I forget his first name. It's Mr. Furtado. He plays some music from, I think he's out in California or Arizona. I think his heritage is from Portugal. He plays, because I know Furtado, the Portuguese name, and he plays Portuguese music. They have a thing called fado, but the fado music is soft and supposed to be sad music, but he plays it all the time while he's working on the lathes and so forth, and he introduces the name of the song as on his videos as he's playing them. So take in his webpage if you have a chance. And also Jerry Foote, the beer review guy, he does really good beer reviews if you get an opportunity to see his. And there used to be Dr. Dave, I think his name is Cat Daddy now. He has some good beer reviews, and he drives around his part of the country. I think he's in Indiana, and you get to see what Indiana looks like in the countryside there. And it's just so many. There's Leah Shahan, she's a lady, and she has some interesting, her channel is interesting. She has some interesting videos. She always getting, I guess, clothes sent to her, and she modeled it, which was just kind of entertaining. She puts on all these different dresses and slacks and skirts, and it's kind of, she makes it comical in a way, but she looks good doing it, putting these clothes on and modeling like you see the models do. And she talks about she has a good channel with her friends. They get together and they do doubles on her channels and talk about things and so forth, so that she has a good channel, get a chance to see hers, get to it. And another gentleman is Musty One. He's up in New Hampshire there. He does a lot of tool turning and a lot of fixing of like lawn tractors and things with motors in it, lawn mowers and little dirt bikes and go-karts and then vehicles himself. He's into Volkswagens, and he's up there in New Hampshire, and he does a lot of good. Okay, those are shout-outs. If you got a chance to go to those channels, go to it. Okay, we're not doing any more further ado. Let's get into the glass. Thank you. We got one here. Okay. Open up. Yeah, we're going to show our Klein tool. Here's our Klein tool. I made for beer and tools. That is nice. All right, no further ado. The glass close by. The glass is from Anheuser-Busch. I don't know if you can see the logo, but like I say, I mentioned before, many times when my kids were young, vacation time, we'd go up to, at least spend a day, go up to Merrimack, New Hampshire, to Anheuser-Busch, the brewery up there, and that was a very good, one of the second best, the very best beer tour I did was in Germany. No, correction, was in Netherlands. No, Copenhagen, Denmark. In Denmark, Copenhagen, Denmark. That was the best one I did. Tuborg. That was really good brewery, really huge, but it was set for people from around the world to go. That's how big. We had different flags on the tables of the countries that you would sit at. The French flag and the flag of England, Scotland, Germany, and Portugal, Italy, Spain, Greece, and all these countries, Canada, and you would sit at that table, and you'd be all your fellow countrymen there, and And I think you could have as much beer as you wanted, if I can remember correctly. And they had tonic there too. Orange, a grapefruit. I mean grape. Correction, grape. I got grapefruit in the head. Grape, root beer. Okay, no further ado. Well, let's get to opening this up. I keep talking, go on these tangents, and okay, so some water vapors are coming out. All right, no further ado, let's get this in the glass. I'm not getting any aromas right yet. It's looking good. Pouring hazy. Oh, I'm getting some aroma. Yeah, I think it's that strong grapefruit. Getting some aroma now. Good carbonation. That is some real good carbonation in this. Real good. Nice white head. Real nice white head on it. Let's get the drone up right away. And, well, Houston, going too high. Get back. Okay, here we come. Here we come. All right. All right. Like different sized bubbles, so we're not getting a creamy head on this. But again, it's a lager. Really shouldn't get a creamy head. Only 15 international beer units, and got the fruit in it, the grapefruit juice and the honey. So it's going to keep a retention on the head, kind of going down on it. The retention isn't too strong. It's a good looking head though for color. We are getting the carbonation. Okay, we get the drone back down. Okay, looks good. Good landing. Okay, no further ado. Let's get a nose to it. You know it's a lager. It's coming out with that crackery, that wheat grain, floral. Grapefruit jumped right out first. Citrus, that's the hops. There's a citrus aroma. Bit of lemon. I think mention you get that floralness, that kind of that wheat grain of lagers. All right, no further ado. Time for the taste, and I've been kind of excited to try this. There is a lot of carbonation in this. It's holding well. This is really holding well for the date. Well, it's not that old, but they say Best Buy in April, they said. Oh, not really 2 months, a month and a half. Okay, month and a little over a half, but bottoms up. That honey that's crossed with the grapefruit, that blend is so good. It gives you a sweetness, but nothing overbearing. There is nothing that is tart or sweet. It's well balanced on the taste. Mouthfeel is crisp. The mouthfeel is mild, kind of a light, mild body on it. There's no, I mean, you can see the carbonation in the glass, but as far as on the mouth or the tongue, there's not much carbonation on it. It's crisp. It's crisp, like most lagers, like not all lagers. A dry finish, though. When you drink it, at the end, it's a dry finish. Does not come across as regular Pilsner. Particularly a regular German Pilsner does not come across as that. I think the blend of the grapefruit and the honey have blended it so well that you don't get it saying, well, I'm drinking a Pilsner, or I'm drinking a German beer. Doesn't come across like that. I mean, the wheat grain you can get it, taste on kind of it, the crackery wheat. The citrus and the grapefruit, there's no tart to it. When you usually have grapefruit, it's kind of tart. The leaves are dry at the end. Not bad. It's drinkable. It's a drinkable beer. Would I get it again? No. There's too many other beers up my alley, so to speak. I'm gonna have a lager. I want a straight lager. I've been into these hazy double IPAs, as they call them around here, New England juice bombs. I've been into those, and there's enough of those around to satisfy me between having a lager and some IPAs. Those are quite the things I will rotate around on my beers. Even if I had friends over, I like to buy different kinds of brews and so forth, and I would not go with this here. Although Beer Advocate gave this a 3.76 out of 5. As far as a rating, that's very good. That's a very good rating, and it should be. It's a good drinkable beer. If you like fruit flavor in your beer, particularly grapefruit and the sweetness of honey, you'll like this. It'll be right up your alley. I was very interested in wanting to try it, excited actually to try something of this caliber. The mix of the two, grapefruit and honey. But it's very drinkable, not up my alley. Would I get it again? No, I wouldn't get it again. My loving wife picked this up for the beer reviews. I would not buy it. That said, it's a very good brewed beer. You might like it. The tasteman might like it more than I do. I enjoy it. I'll enjoy this. So, with that said, gonna drink, don't drive. Have a good day, folks. Ciao.